Good morning, students. Beta, we were discussing chapter 11 and name of this chapter is part-2 Modernization, right? And we discussed about China, the physical features of China, what type of food they eat, and with that, which languages were spoken over there. So now we will discuss about Japan. Japan, by contrast, it is a string of island. Like China was the continental country, and Japan was the string of islands. The four largest being Honshu, Kyushu, Shikoku, and Hokkaido. The Okinawan chain is the southernmost, about the same latitude as the Bahamas. More than 50% of the land area of the main island is mountainous, and Japan is situated in a very active earthquake zone. As you are well aware that so many earthquakes means on the daily basis earthquakes occurred there. These geographical conditions have influenced architecture also. As you know, buildings are constructed on the basis of these features. If it is an earthquake prone area, then architecture will be followed according to that. The population is largely Japanese, but there are a small Innu minority and Koreans who were forcibly brought as labor when Korea was a Japanese colony. Japan lacks a tradition of animal rearing. Rice is the staple crop and fish the major source of protein. Raw fish has now become a widely popular dish around the world as it is considered very healthy. So this was about the China and Japan. So now we will just discuss the political system of Japan. That is our next topic. An emperor had ruled Japan from Kyoto, but by the 12th century, an imperial court lost power to shoguns. Beta, all these were the dynasties over there, who in theory ruled in the name of the emperor. And from 1603 to 1867, members of the Tokugawa family held the position of shogun. The country was divided into over 250 domains under the rule of lords called daimyo. The shogun exercised power over the domanial lords, but their proper system was followed. Like we are saying that the country was divided into domains, like states hoti hain, same way there were domains. And these domains were under the rule of lords, and those lords were called daimyo. और जो शोगुन थे जो who were the emperor at that time, who were exercising the power at that time over the domanial lords, ordering them to stay at the capital Edo. At that time the capital was Edo, and name of that Edo at present it is known as Tokyo. अब क्वेश्चन ये आता है माइंड में that why shogun they told these domanial lords to stay at the capital. There was a very important reason, so that these lords they would not pose a threat to the empire. He also controlled the major cities and mines. The samurai, samurai, that was the name for the warrior class, were the ruling elite and served the shoguns and daimyo. In the late 16th century, three changes laid the pattern for future development. One, now this is very important that what three changes were there. The peasantry was disarmed and only the samurai could carry swords. This change was brought just to ensure peace and order and ending the frequent wars of previous century. And the second change was the daimyo. They were ordered to live in the capitals of their domains, each with a large degree of autonomy. Means now they were provided with the independence. And the third change was land surveys, which identified the owners and the taxpayers and graded land productivity to ensure a stable revenue base. It means that land revenue, it was fixed up according to the productivity of the land. The daimyo's capitals became bigger, so that by the mid 17th century, Japan not only had the most populated city in the world, Edo, but also to other large cities, Osaka and Kyoto. Beta, Edo, that was the earlier name of Tokyo, and do you know that at present also Tokyo is the most populous city of the world? And even there was at least half a dozen castle towns with population of over 50,000. This led to the growth of commercial economy and created financial and credit system, because if the population was growing, automatically the commerce, the trading was also increasing. So a person's merit began to be more valued than his status. A vibrant culture blossomed in the towns, where the fast growing class of merchants patronized theatre and the arts. It means now people, they were just coming to the vibrant culture, and this fast growing class of merchants, they were fond of theatre and the arts. As people enjoyed reading, it became possible for gifted writers to earn a living solely by writing. It means the trend of writing, it also nourished at that time. In Edo, people could rent a book for the price of a bowl of noodles. So this shows how popular reading had become and gives a glimpse, give an insight into the scale of printing. Like the people, now they were just increasing the interest in the reading. So the printing was also increased. Japan was considered rich because it imported luxury goods like silk from China and textiles from India. And paying for these imports with gold and silver strained the economy and led the Tokugawa to put restrictions on the export of precious metal. Like now Japan, they were just having a very luxurious life. They were just importing the luxurious goods from various countries, and they were paying in gold and silver for that. So now it was straining the economy also. So that is why now Tokugawa, they put restrictions on the export of precious metals. They also took steps to develop the silk industry in Nisijin and Kyoto so as to reduce imports. Because as we know that silk was costly, now Japanese government, they started growing their own silk, and the silk from Nisijin came to be known as the best in the world. Other developments such as the increased use of money and the creation of a stock market in rice show that the economy was developing in new ways. Social and intellectual changes, such as the study of ancient Japanese literature, led people to question the degree of Chinese influence and to argue that the essence of being Japanese could be found long before the contact with China. It means now social and intellectual changes were there. And like the people were just studying the ancient Japanese literature, now the question arises in their mind. Now the question was there in their mind that Japanese history, it is found long before the contact with China. In such early classics as the Tale of the Genji and its myth of origin, that said the islands were created by the gods and that the emperor was a descendant of the sun goddess. So this was the political system of Japan. Now that our जो नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है दैट इज़ द मीजी रिस्टोरेशन. आपको पता है बेटा द मीजी, जो ये मीजी थे, इट वॉज द एम्परर क्लास ऑफ जापान. Then they lost their empire to the Kaito, then shoguns and Tokugawa, and then again this Meiji came into the power. That is why name of this topic is Meiji Restoration, and this topic I will discuss in the next video. So hope all of you have understood the topic. Thank you and have a nice day.